Hello, historians. We don't have Zoom today, but we do still have class, and there are tasks that I need you to complete during our class block. Before I show you where those are, this is just a little shout out to my A1 class. Remember that you need to make your choice for the April Flexible Learning Day by tomorrow, and that's going to be in that yellow folder at the top where it says 6th graders, log your student choice here. You need to do that by tomorrow. What everybody needs to do, including A1 after they've made their choice, is scroll down to quarter 4, week 2, Monday. Again, today we are in quarter 4, week 2, Monday. I figured today, since we don't have Zoom, we would have a little Friday, but on a Monday. You'll notice on the agenda that there are 4 items I need you to complete. The first one is the Google form that you will submit, and this is how I'll get your attendance today. So that is the first thing under the agenda. You'll need to write your first and last name, your class block, and then click Next. And then it's going to ask you a couple of questions about your catch-up folder. Your catch-up folder is right below the attendance Google form. Click the little arrow next to it so that you can look into your catch-up folder while still seeing your Google form. Then you're going to answer some questions based on what you see. If it says this folder is empty, then the answer to all of these questions is no. But when I look in this catch-up folder, I see missing expansion map, so I would say yes. And then it's going to tell me where I would go to complete that task today. Then I would go to Next. Do you see missing California Gold Rush? I do, so I would say yes. And it tells me I need to go to week 1, lesson 2 to complete that activity. And then the last one, do I see missing Freedom in the West EDPUZZLE? I do, so I would say yes. And then it'll tell me that I need to complete that in week 1, lesson 2. Again, if your folder says this folder is empty and you don't see anything in your catch-up folder, you can say no to all 3 of those questions. The last page is just a spot for you to write maybe a question, a comment, a concern, anything you think I may need to know about your class today, and then make sure you click Submit. If you don't submit the Google form, you will not be considered present in class today. This is how I am taking attendance. If you don't click Submit, you will be marked absent. After you have done the attendance Google form, the next thing on the agenda is to complete any tasks in the catch-up folder. If yours, again, says this folder is empty, you can move on to America, the Story of Us. If you see any of these 3 things in your catch-up folder, go into the folder and you'll see where to find the assignment you're missing. So again, if you're missing expansion map, you need to go to week 1, lesson 1 to complete and submit that assignment. If you see missing California Gold Rush, you'll need to go to week 1, lesson 2. And if you see missing Freedom in the West EDPUZZLE, you'll need to go to week 1, lesson 2. After you have made sure you are caught up in history and any assignments that are missing are submitted, you can move on to the America, the Story of Us EDPUZZLE. This is going to take you probably the longest amount of time today. It's a 20-minute section on westward expansion, and it's part of that series that we've been watching, America, the Story of Us. Today's episode is called Westward. And then the final thing today, you get to choose one of these 2 things to do. You can either complete a word search or a jigsaw puzzle. The word search is the same on that Duxter's website that we've used, where you have your list of words over here, and you're trying to find them in the word search. Let me see if I can find one real quick to show you an example of how to do it. So I have found Pony Express, which is one of the words on the list. In order to select it, I click on the first letter and drag to the last letter. Then when I release, it'll check it off of the list and turn red. You can either complete this task or you could choose to do a jigsaw puzzle. This is a puzzle like what you would have on a table, and below is the image that you are trying to create. As always with a puzzle, my recommendation is that you start by looking at the corners or the edges. When you take a piece and put it into the correct spot, it'll lock in place. So now I cannot move this puzzle piece. That's why I recommend you start with the edges, because you can get them locked into place, and then you can start working on the middle sections. I also recommend, if you choose this one, you kind of start by sorting by color. So like all these yellow ones would go kind of in the middle at the bottom because that's where the yellow Texas area is. All these kind of red ones would go towards like the bottom left because that's where the red California territory is. So that's just another strategy that might help you with this activity. When you have submitted the attendance Google form, checked your catch-up folder and completed any missing assignments, watched the America the Story of Us EDPUZZLE, and chosen to work on one of these two assignments, then you are done with history for the day. Again, just because we don't have Zoom, I still need you to complete the tasks in class. If you have any questions for me, send me a Schoology message. I will have access to Schoology all day. Have fun, you guys.